off as a PG podcast, but then Devin just kept on dropping shits and fucks, and
I'm just trying to figure out what's in her mouth.
I just want to see him interview Francesco Aquilini.
He's a good human being, is what he would say about himself, I'm sure.
Who's hosting this thing?
Take charge, Kevin. Would you? Jesus.
First time we ever met those guys. That was the major drunken pub argument.
I think you guys are the worst.
I'm gonna have to probably watch some Canucks hockey, unfortunately.
Just making friends left, right, and center, and probably some enemies as well.
Tell him to shut up. He needs to hear that every once in a while.
Off to a good start.
All right. We are live.
It's okay to talk when it goes live.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Hockey Podcast. We are live on Facebook.com. We are live on YouTube.com, the Hockey Podcast. It is our midweek intermission, and by golly, do we need a midweek intermission. Holy smokes. You can follow us on Twitter, of course, at podcast_hockey, Facebook.com, the Hockey Podcast, YouTube.com, the Hockey Podcast, where we are at. What jersey number are we at now?
Oh, God. That is jersey number 38. I have no idea who's wearing 38.
I don't know who is wearing, whoever is wearing the jersey number 38, subscribers. Thank you for those that have joined us recently. And then you will hear the audio of this shortly after this has been uploaded. Sean and I are here. We are here after what we thought was a pretty important game. The Toronto Maple Leafs taking on the Montreal Canadiens, the top two teams in the Scotia North Division. And we were hoping Devin would be here to join us to give his fresh Leafs insight. And there's no Devin.
He may hop on, but we'll run with this for right now.
Well, right, yeah. Well, quickly for the game. This is one of those things. It's interesting because the Leafs have been sleepwalking for the first two periods. They sleptwalked on Monday with the Canucks, and they came out and won the game in the third period. This was very similar. Tied it. Well, actually, the Canadiens grabbed the lead. Leafs tied it at a goal by Dermott, and then Justin Hall and Alex Kerfoot, your top Leaf stars, ended up scoring. And then the Canadiens made it a 3-2 game, and then it was the empty netter. To give the Leafs credit, you're finding ways to win without names of like Matthews, Marner, Tavares, Nylander to score. I mean, that helps you on your way. And you're getting production. You came into the game with 3 goals from your defense. For your defense, you got 2, and Jake Muzzin had 3 points tonight. So if you're the Leafs, you're coming away feeling pretty good. And I'm not saying that they're way ahead of everybody, but it seems to me that they're starting to stretch a little bit. Are they stretching a little bit?
They just have the skill right now. They, if you look at the stats, it looks like Montreal sort of carried the play for most of this game, and the Leafs were able to use their skill to get a couple quick goals and turn it around. So they're getting the skills and the skill is taking over right now. Yeah,
John from Hot Take Hockey says hello, and the Leafs are buzzing, and. Yeah, the skill for sure. And from the Canadiens' perspective, I don't know. I think that everyone has concluded, and we made this foregone conclusion that it was the Leafs and Canadiens in the top 2. I don't know where the Canadiens are. And I'm not saying that like if we look at the standings here, and I'm going to pull up the standings here. So,
for me, it just looks like the Leafs and Habs are still separated themselves a little bit. But when you look at the Habs also haven't played as many games as the Leafs and Oilers. So if there's any team that can maybe squeeze up into there, it's the Oilers. But right now, everyone's sort of feasting on each other. And other than the Leafs, everyone else is sort of, and the Canucks and Sens, all the other four teams are kind of just winning a couple games here and losing a couple games here and there. So there seems to be a slight gap with the Leafs right now, but that could change, right?
Yeah.
I don't think I can press this enough. This season's completely different when you've got these series where you have 2, 3, 4 games against a team in a row. That can completely change an outlook of how your season's going. If the Flames or the Canucks can manage to take 3 or 4 in the series coming up between them, that can completely change how they look at this season, at least short term going forwards. If the Leafs can rattle off a few more wins here before they hit their lull, then they're going to separate. If the Habs can pull back and find a way to get back to the level they were playing at for a little bit there, then they'll catch right back up. They're only they've played one less game. They are 5 points back, but they played one less game. So, and they still have I think another 8 games against Toronto. So it's still far from over. And I don't know. I just think we're gonna see a big swings here throughout this season, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think the teams will roll. I agree with you about that. But I guess from the Leafs perspective, they are finding ways to win, and I think for them that is a good sign. They're getting, I mean, we talked about this with the Oilers with Mikko Koskinen having to play so much. Freddie Anderson, since the Jack Campbell injury, has carried the load in Toronto, and he's been on a roll. So I think that's helped them a little bit, that they've been able to get that from Freddie Anderson. I mean, I think the difference between Anderson and Koskinen is we have higher expectations, and we think Anderson is a better goaltender than Koskinen. But still, with all this talk about needing 2 goaltenders, Anderson giving that, I think, has really helped. And again, getting those goals from secondary scoring has helped. And come on, were we really going to sit here and think that the Montreal Canadiens were going to score 7 shorthanded goals every 8 games or whatever they did? There was going to be some sort of reality hit them at some particular point in time. So,
but they're also not losing by poorly, right?
No,
so maybe I'm jaded as a Canucks fan right now, but the Habs are in it, and yeah, they gave up a couple quick goals, but they were the better team for the majority of this game, and I think that's something that you can take out of that, and if you can find a way to figure out what happened on those goals and tighten it up, then they're going to be okay, and they're going to push Toronto. So I don't think that saying that they're going to fall out of the top 2, I think, is a fair assessment of how they played up until this point.
I guess my point is I think with Montreal, I'm a little bit wait and see, because there's pros for them for sure. I mean, Josh Anderson I still hate the contract, but he's doing everything that they wanted him to do. Jeff Petrie, Shea Weber, outstanding. Tyler Toffoli, who knew that he was a left winger, but he showed that. And then Suzuki, Kotkaniemi, I think, have been better than I think we expected, and they're getting goaltending from Jake Allen too. So, yeah.
The question is still up the middle. I think that's still a fair question with Montreal, but they so far Suzuki, Danault, and Kotkaniemi have been good enough, if not better than good enough.
Yeah. And I also, watching their Montreal-Ottawa games, they were not. I guess we were sort of expecting Canada, Kazakhstan or something there, but maybe we need to expect that Ottawa is actually going to fight for wins here every once in a while. But it didn't go. So, they were better for 2 periods. The better team for 2 periods. Very interesting game Saturday between the 2 teams, but a very interesting game tomorrow. It is Edmonton-Montreal is playing tomorrow third place in terms of points and second place. And the other thing that is important here, to go back to that standings point here, that I think is really important, because touch wood, we do not have any COVID cancellations yet in the Nova Scotia North, but the winning percentage, it goes right now: Toronto, Montreal, Winnipeg, Calgary, Edmonton, Vancouver, Ottawa. So if it comes down to winning percentage, that is a factor that can be a factor as well. So that's another thing that I think we will have to keep in mind as we go forward.
Yeah, I still think that the NHL will still try and at least have every team in each division play the same amount of games.
Yeah.
The amount of games comparatively between divisions may be different by the end of the season, but I think at the end of the season, they're going to do everything they can to make sure that every team in each division has the same amount of games as their opponents. So we can look at winning at point percentage, but I honestly do think that it's going to end up as equal amount of games played. So it's not going to really matter.
Yeah, either or. I think the point is, the more you can win, the better it is for you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So comment on that. If you want to chime in on what happened with the Leafs and Habs, we'll certainly take those questions. But we'll also we're here to preview for the Flames and the Canucks. It's a huge 4-game series. Specifically, just to start with from the Canucks perspective here, would it not have been the story of TSN 1040 this week, there was certainly, and it's still there was a heat and pressure on Jim Benning, Travis Green, and whether the Vancouver Canucks would make any significant changes, whether it be a GM change, a coaching change, or a trade of some kind. And I think it is safe to say that if it's not this 4-game series with the Calgary Flames, it's this 10 games between the Flames, Oilers, and Jets that may determine where the Vancouver Canucks are going forward.
I think these 4 games coming up are gonna make or break this season. If they can't come out with at least 3 wins, then they're in a lot of trouble. Because if you can't come up with at least 3 wins, you've already played the Flames twice. So you split it. No, you've lost 2 games against the Flames already. Yeah. So if you can't come out with at least 3 wins tonight, this upcoming week, then you're at let's say they get 2, you're 2-4 with another. That would give
2-4 with another 4
games to play. So if you can get 3 out of 4, then you're looking a little better. You're 3-3 with 4 games to play, and you can make up a lot of ground on the Flames with that, and potentially with those remaining games. So it's a huge 4-game set here for the Canucks. If they do not make any ground up on the Flames in these 4 games, then I think it's time. Like we thought, this 2-day break may have been what would have been when they decide to make a deal or move on someone, whether the head coach or the GM. But if it looks like maybe they're looking at they're hoping that they can somehow find a turnaround way to turn this around in these 4 games. So I think this is a 4-game stretch where you can make the argument that's make or break for the Canucks. Yes, you can still turn things around. You can always turn things around when it's this early in the season, but it makes it a lot harder if you do not make up significant ground on the Flames in this 4-game stretch.
Yeah, I think for the Canucks, I think that this is for sure. You've got a lot of things that you got to figure out here. You've still got your Holtby, Miller. I mean, I think maybe that has been downplayed a little bit, but you do need a good series from Miller. You still need PD to break out. You've got to figure out your defensive structure for sure, which was much better on Monday overall, but still a lot to work on. and you played a team that probably played as complete of a game as they have played all year last night. But that, with the Calgary Flames, that's, you get that one complete game, and then Heidi will tell you the next game can become something completely different. So I'm not going in there and saying that the Flames are on their way to anything, because we just simply at times don't know what the Calgary Flames will bring us. It's that tomorrow's game is fascinating because this is Markstrom and Tanev's return to Vancouver for the first time, and although there are no fans in the stands, that still I think will be a significant moment. You've got a lot in Vancouver that you need to figure out, and there's a lot of distractions. You've got the Bennett and you've got the Green question as one thing. And then you've got the trade rumors surrounding Jake Virtanen, and you've got the trade rumors surrounding Adam Gaudette. So there's a lot in this from Vancouver's perspective that I mean they need to kind of go through and process here and overcome. I don't want to say the word overcome, but there's a lot riding on this that you need a good game for sure. I think starting with a win Thursday, starting with a win tomorrow, I think would create a huge weight off of Canucks' shoulders.
Yeah, because now you look at how the season's gone. They played okay against the Oilers in the season opener and won. Then they played absolutely brutal. They didn't play bad against Calgary in game 2, but they didn't play good. They didn't play well enough, and they let Tanev and Markstrom shut them out. So I think that was a shot to their confidence there. Then they were still reeling in game 2 in their third game of the season versus the Flames, and then they ended up having that debacle against Montreal where they managed to get a win, but they still weren't playing well. And having to fully run roughshod, having Markstrom and Tanev shut them out, really, really hurt their confidence. And if they can find a way to get over that and get a win tomorrow and build off of that, then that will be huge. But it's still, I really hope that they can find a way to play like they did on Monday, be a little better with the puck again. And find a way to pot some more goals, because as good as they were on Monday, they only scored 1 goal. And you're not going to win games with scoring 1 goal. As much as you want to, as much as some coaches would love to be able to win 1-0 every game, you're not going to be able to. This isn't soccer, and even in soccer, you don't even see that very often anymore. So, that's why this 4-game stretch is going to be huge for the Canucks, because if they come out if they come out with 1 win at one, they're gonna, it's just that the season's done, because their confidence is not going to be anywhere close to as good where it needs to be, and they're out of it. So they need to win. I honestly think they do need to win at least 3, and they need to start with 1 tomorrow. And they need to find a way to get the lotto line going. Make them have a couple shifts there where they're just dominating and keeping the puck in the Flame zone. They need to have Bo Horvat, Tanner Pearson, and Niels Höglander have a couple good cycle shifts and creating havoc on their forecheck, because that line can forecheck like hell when they're on and cause a lot of havoc for defensemen. And then they need to find their defensive structure and stick with it and stop being too cute at the blue lines and get the puck out and get the puck deep. If you can do that, cycle it around, get some zone possession time, and create offense that way, then things will start to come for the Canucks. But if they continue to try and force it and find a way to give up the puck at either blue line and give up odd man rushes because of that, then they're toast.
Yeah, and for the Flames, they have found lines that seem to work. I mean, they have the Lindholm, Kachuk, Dylan Dubé line that seems to be working. Monahan, Gaudreau. They've got Sam Bennett with Monahan and Gaudreau. It seems to be sort of working at this particular point in time. Really, I don't know if it's been spectacularly working, but the line of Backlund, Lucic, and Majapani has been their best line the last couple of games. And then they've done, and Byron Fraser has come in and done a pretty good job on the fourth line. Their defense, they haven't changed it. That's been the same pairings all the way. So the Flames are coming in confident, and kind of feeling like they're playing their game. But again, it's a mystery with the Calgary Flames. You never know what depending on what period you'll get for them. They got outshot in the first period against the Oilers 17-3. Yeah, I know there was penalties. And then he came back and outshot the Oilers pretty much the same back. So, the Flames are confident, but at times you can kind of take advantage of them. And you look back at the second game against the Flames, the Canucks and the Flames, had one of those goals that got him Gaudette or Pettersson had that were wide open would have went in. That probably is a different game. So that's one way that you can think about that a little bit. No, it wasn't their best game, but they had some opportunities to jump on the Flames, and they didn't get that done. So I would suspect that the Canucks, it's the Flames are going to have to weather the storm, and the Canucks are going to get off to a great start. And whoever comes out of that first period, either with a lead, I think will have I'm stating, hi, I'm Captain Obvious. Whoever comes out of the first period with the lead, I think will have a better chance of winning. That's hockey analysis. Hire me. But you know what I mean, though. It is a significant, it's a confidence builder for the Canucks if they're ahead. It's a confidence builder for the Flames if they're ahead.
Yeah, and the Canucks have not had any luck with not scoring first. They've only won games where they scored first, and if they don't come out and find a way to get a win tomorrow, it's Canucks fans are going to be deflated. The Canucks are going to be deflated, and I don't see anything good coming from that. Yeah. They absolutely need to come out and have a really good game and get that W. If they do not get a win tomorrow, I hate using must wins this early in the season, but if you look at everything, you have to say it's a must win at this point. You have to find a way to get that win tomorrow. You have to find a way to nut up or shut up and get a W. Doesn't have to be pretty. Doesn't have to be full of highlight reel goals. If it's a greasy as fuck win, and they win 2-1 with a couple absolutely horrendously looking goals, I'm okay with that. Just find a way to win. Just find a way to win. Because the longer you go without fixing this issue and getting some momentum, you might as well write off the season. And I don't know any fans who want to write off this season.
I think there's a lot of fans feeling that the season's a write-off, and if you get a win tomorrow, that at least helps a lot. And you know what? Just this city, the sports fan in this city specifically here in Canucks world, I think needs something good for them. So just overall.
Oh, and I think that's the other thing. I really, really hope that they come out with a fire lit, because they know that the city needs them. It's been an absolutely shitty couple days. Waking up this morning and not having Halford and Bruff to listen to for a lot of people was an absolute depressing morning, including myself. Yeah, and we need to give us something to cheer for, Canucks. For the love of God, give us something to cheer for.
Yeah, I even missed. It's 2:04. And when down that voice of Matt Sakaris, Rick Dahl. It's still. I mean, we did a deep dive on what happened yesterday. For those who missed it, you can check that out. But just I got to be honest, Sean. I know it's 8:07 here. It's been more than 24 hours. It's almost been 36 hours. I'm still feeling it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm still feeling the hurt of this.
And it's not going to go away for a little bit. So please dull the pain. The Canucks find a way to fucking win. Like, give us something to be happy about, and cheer for, and give us at least a little glimmer of hope. I know a lot of people like don't give me that hope and then take it away. But do it. Give me some hope. Come on. I'm tired of these shitty fucking bullshit losses and where you just don't know what to, like, you don't know how to express yourself. Give me something to be excited about. Give me something to look forward to debating on Twitter, listening to 650 about. Give me something, Canucks. I'm tired of this shit. Like, I was watching I was just watching a couple of the games, and it was like, the score's tied or close. I don't remember what this is as a Canucks fan. Like, it's either like nothing, and then it's everything. Like, just give me a good 60-minute effort. But I don't care if it's 55 minutes, but you still find a way to fucking win. Let's just give me a win to celebrate, especially because it's versus the Flames. Give it to me, please.
Comment here. Hey guys, really missed 1040 today. Hope the Canucks get a few wins versus Flames, but I predict a 1-3 record. So, not Marsh 12-24. Not super happy, but we'll see. The other part of this is we kind of touched on this a little bit, but just we'll with the Canucks, Virtanen, Gaudette on the trade. Rumors front, we don't know if there's been a request for a trade on either side of that. But I mean, that Sutter Bailey Gaudette line I thought did a pretty good job against Toronto on Monday. I'm assuming that would be one line that sticks together. They were able to create some energy, and
yeah, it looks like the only change that they're making is bringing Zach McEwen in. Replacing Jake Virtanen after that absolutely horrendous play, D-zone play that nearly led to a goal. Jake, come on, buddy. Come on. Stop being stupid like that.
Can I applaud Bick Nazar for a great tweet about that, though? His tweet was at least Jake Virtanen took the puck to the net. We never. It's the wrong net.
Yeah. But I really liked the Gaudette Sutter Bailey line. I think it's got potential to be a really good energy line. I think the only reason the Canucks are actually shopping Adam Gaudette right now is because they're not getting the return that they're looking for any Jake Virtanen trades. So I think Adam Gaudette still has some decent value on the market. Just because they're in and out of the lineup doesn't mean you can't get someone back that's decent and can step into the lineup and build. Someone who's also been kind of in and out of the lineup. So according to Elliot Friedman, Nashville's interested in Adam Gaudette. I think the Sharks and Boston have kicked tires on Jake Virtanen. So I think I think there is a trade out there to be made if they want to, but I don't know. Don't expect anything big back, but the Canucks are still going to get someone back who can maybe help them now and into the future.
Yeah,
assuming Jim Benning has the ability to make a trade right now.
Well, that is the other question with this is where are they putting the lock on Benning, or is Benning allowed, or is this like, you know what, Benning, you've got an opportunity to do something? And then the other side of this, and the other question that has legitimately been out there is if Aquilini is letting money be spent, and that's a legitimate question. I know Rick Dollywell reported on Monday that DeBrusk at $3.1 million was probably not something that Aquilini was going to be very excited about paying when it was talked about Virtanen and DeBrusk. So my thought went that maybe you add something to make that work, but who knows? So that will for sure depend, I think.
Yeah, I think Aquilini is definitely a little gun shy on acquiring any sort of cash right now because of everything, as well as all the dead cap and extra cash he's been shelling out for bit pieces. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's basically telling Jim that he has to really, really sell him on these trades or any sort of move.
Well, we do have to touch on a move that did happen today. I mean, it may have went under the radar, but Louis Eriksson went on waivers.
It's just
it's not a big deal.
Unfortunately, it's not a big deal. It's just resetting the waiver timeline. I got a little confused with the actual rule, but basically, once a player clears waivers, they have 30 days or 10 NHL games before they have to go through waivers again. So he's been he's been in the NHL active roster with the Canucks for the past I think 5 days, and he needs to go through waivers to go back down to the taxi squad, and he's at day 28 since that first waiver wire transaction. So this is just resetting the waiver counter, unfortunately.
Yeah. I don't suspect that he's gone or anything like that. So Daniel, classmate Daniel, says, hello, Daniel. Really hoping the Canucks can get some win against the Flames. If they can get 2 wins against the Flames, they'll be back in it. LOL. So they're some cynicism, some hope there for that. I guess we'll see on Thursday what happens between the Flames and the Canucks. That's tomorrow. Oh my gosh, that is tomorrow. Yeah. Thursday night. Yeah, I've got my days all confused here. I guess from the Flames perspective, Sam Bennett still on the block. I think my theory is going to be, I think they're not in any hurry to get Sam Bennett out of there. They're going to give him that shot that he feels that he did not get with playing with Monahan and Gaudreau, and they're going to see. Things are going well, so this is Sam's opportunity to prove it or shut up. That's basically the way I see it. I don't think, as I said, I don't think Brad Treliving is desperate to make this move. He certainly doesn't need to be in any hurry right now, although I do think the Flames' priority is getting a top 6 forward, which I think was Devin's point on Saturday when he was trying to claim some Jakob Silfverberg, but that's not going to be for Sam Bennett. I think that will be a package, but he's going to be patient. And it's not like the top 6 forward, even if acquired, is going to be in that Calgary lineup tomorrow anyway. So,
yeah, exactly. And I think if you're gutting for a top 6 forward in return for Sam Bennett and whatever it is, you're going to have to significantly add to Sam Bennett to get it.
Yeah.
As much as you love the beard, the stash, the playoff abilities of Sam Bennett, teams are not going to give up a top 6 forward for him. Straight up, they're not going to give up a top 6 forward for him and say a bit piece like Oliver Shillington.
Yeah, no.
Teams had all the time you wanted. Oliver Shillington went through waivers at the beginning of the season. Teams wanted him; they had a shot to get him, because it's not like he's making a lot of money. This isn't like, well, we have to send someone back that way, right? They had the ability to make a trade or acquire him, Oliver Shillington, earlier. He does not have value. Enough value to add to a Sam Bennett package to get the top 6 forward. I'm sorry, Devin. I know you'll probably watch this later and yell at me for it, but I'm sorry. That's the case. I see Sam Bennett and Oliver Shillington being in the same area, like grouping it as Virtanen and Gaudette, where they're young. You could probably swap them for another young player, but you're not getting a bona fide, established, top of the lineup player for them, even if you're packaging them together.
Yeah, for sure. So our next topic, Daniel's right on it here. Ron Hextall and Brian Burke have joined the Pittsburgh Penguins. Ron Hextall replaces Jim Rutherford as the general manager, and Brian Burke is the president of hockey operations. First of all, no one has talked about this. A former Philadelphia Flyer, Ron Hextall, is the GM of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Has no one brought this up?
Well, the Flyers stole Yager at one point, so
I guess that's fair. I guess it's a fair thing here, but I will miss Brian Burke on TV. I will miss that grumpy face. No matter how much Kevin Bieksa tried to make that guy smile, it just was not going to happen. I mean, a lot of people, he said he would never do it again, but I think he sees an opportunity here with Pittsburgh to do something special. And and as he said, I finally have Sidney Crosby on my team. And I think I think he looks at that organization and he sees an opportunity there to do something special and to get a ring, and good on him for trying.
Yeah, and I believe he also has always wanted to work with Ron Hextall too. So I think this was a perfect storm. I also think he probably looked at the media landscape and decided, nah,
yeah,
maybe it's time to fight. Maybe it's time to get out and do this, because you never know, right? And I think this is a great move for Brian Burke. I think it's a great move and great hire by the Penguins to get Burke and Ron Hextall. And it's fantastic. Like, if Canucks were going to look for a new GM, Ron Hextall was right at the top of my list. I think he deserves another shot after basically rebuilding the Flyers up from scratch a little bit there. So I think those two are going to work really well together, and just the rich keep on getting richer in terms of Pittsburgh. With they've got Crosby, Malkin, and now they've got these two to build around for the next little bit. So and rebuild around Crosby and Malkin going forwards. So or just one of them, depending on what they decide to do. But there's definitely. I'm really interested to watch what happens there, because Rutherford was definitely about retooling around Crosby and Malkin without really looking into the future. And I think part of the issue right now is going to be it is going to be to restock the cupboards a little bit and find a way to while still retooling and staying competitive around Crosby and Malkin and going for another cup.
Yeah. And I think from Pittsburgh's perspective, I mean, I sort of brought up the idea in the off season about, do you trade Crosby? I don't think at this point, you look at everything now, I just think from a marketing aspect, you cannot trade Crosby and Malkin. Not from a financial reason. You're never going to win a Crosby Malkin trade. And B, when fans come back, and it looks like some places are actually thinking of bringing fans back, you're going to want to have Crosby and Malkin there to be a selling feature to go to a Pittsburgh Penguin game. So,
you need the star power to be able to do that. So, I definitely don't see them making too many, unless you're making a trade to beef up that blue line so that it's not Letang in bit pieces, and you're finding a way to dump some of the big long-term contracts that Rutherford brought in. Then I don't know if you're going to be able to make a good trade. So I think you have to find other ways, and they still have some decent pieces to work with, but like I said, I'm really excited to see what they do.
Yeah. I'm interested in it. One guy nobody talks about that I think, we talk about underrated players. Jake Gensel.
Underrated.
So underrated. Yeah, that would be a, if the Flames and, if Ron Hextall wants to trade a guy, Bennett for Gensel, Virtanen for Gensel. I'm kidding. Lots of comments here, just quickly. Daniel back. It's not Stadium Classics. It's the outdoor something. What the hell are they called? The outdoor thing. The outdoor game thing.
The game's on the game's on Lake Tahoe.
The game's on Lake Tahoe.
Not on Lake Tahoe, on the green on the golf course at Lake Tahoe.
Yes, can you imagine?
Poor Belmar who thought they were playing on the lake and then got his heart broken during a press conference.
That was hilarious. That was absolutely hilarious. Are those happening?
Yeah, they are on Saturday and Sunday, the 20th and 21st of February. So next weekend.
Yeah. And yeah, so that'll be fascinating. We've got other comments here. We've got what's up, guys? Hello, tape to tape. Hello, Revanite 96, a Colorado Avalanche fan. So,
the Elliot Friedman did say that Colorado is interested in Sam Bennett. So maybe there's a trade there in the future.
Yeah, maybe. Hello, everyone from Raybro. Hello. I don't know what Kate Berry is saying here, but no. Hi, Kate. I'm assuming this had to do with the chat that's going on right now. So I'm going to assume that. What else is there? Oh, can we talk about Tuukka Rask just very quickly?
Oh, that was hilarious. Tuukka Rask completely forgetting about what's the score in the game is, thinking they're down 2-1, and that he needs to be pulled so they can get the extra attacker. Skates all the way to the bench and all the way back. Just looks so leisurely when he's doing it, and it's absolutely hilarious. It's just
I'm trying to find it right now here. Just give me. Oh, there it is. Okay, you just give me a moment.
Yeah, it's just he has this great. It's so leisurely. You're like, what is going on? And luckily, Boston had the puck and were able to keep it. But it's hilarious. And then he admitted he lost track of the score and thought it was they were down 2-1.
I will have it here right now. I just need to put this in full.
And Kate, we said that Getzel's underrated. We don't think he gets enough credit for what he does.
Yeah, so there it is. 1 minute to go. Where's Tuukka?
And now
Why, Tuukka?
Look how just nonchalant he is doing it.
That's awesome. Anything else we need to talk about?
No, I just I would say that I think one of the bigger news topics today would be another cancellation of games. Another positive test for Vegas, so there looks like they're going to have to. They had to postpone their game versus Anaheim today. They can't. What happened was they got 2 positive tests, I believe, back middle of the game, or one of them, and they had to pull a couple players, and now they're just going through a shit ton of testing to find out whether or not they can play the game on Thursday. It's still scheduled to go, but they don't know at this point.
Yeah. So that's something. Yeah. Jeez. Lots of COVID. Yeah. COVID cancellation. Oh, so Kate is a Pens fan. Ken Dog Sports Gabby Oates says hello. So hello to Gabby Oates. Ken Dog Sports Talk is Go Red Wings. We say hello to Troy Stetcher. Troy from Richmond. Say hello.
Yeah.
Missed deeply in Vancouver, by the way.
And his dog Phoebe, who got some local TV time when he first arrived. And thanks everyone for tuning in. If you're new, we're really happy to have you here, and we're hoping to have a lot more fun things to talk about going forwards.
Yes. We will be back on Sunday, 11 o'clock Pacific, 12 o'clock Mountain, recapping Flames Canucks. And of course, we'll chat a little bit about the Habs and the Leafs. It's Hockey Day in Canada and Hockey Day in the States as well. John, Hot Take Hockey, welcoming everyone on our behalf as well. But we'll be recapping those two games. Devin will be on. Devin, Tyler, Noble Nation, Mittens will be on. Chris, Heidi will all be there. So how do we follow? We follow you.
I'm at BeardyConnect03 on Twitter.
We got Heidi Amazeballs. Devin is Gordhouse09. Schneids, SCHNEIDZ. Tyler T Noble, INKEVOLE. Podcast_hockey. Follow on Facebook. Subscribe on YouTube. Subscribe to the audio. Thanks, everyone. It's been great. Thanks, Daniel, for the compliment. Great podcast. Thanks, everyone. Welcome, and we will talk to you all very soon. Bye for now.